How are you, cousins? You doing okay today? It is rainy on the East Coast. Yeah, we got rain, 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 and more rain. But you know what? I think we've been in a drought, so this is not the worst thing that could be happening to us right now because we're in a drought. But how are you this morning? Are you good? Are you ready for a great week? Um, I hope so, because if you in it, you should be in it to win it, right? So yeah, so let me just say really quickly, let me get the intro out the way. Welcome to the Stacy's Show. I think I'm gonna call it the Stacy's. I don't know. Stacy's Show's fine for now. If you got any ideas, drop them in the comment. You can call my show, because I let's get creative, right? Because I want it to be catchy. And I don't think the Stacy Show's all that catchy. But anywho, that's my name. I'm sticking to it. That's my stage name, Stacy, by the way. Stacy Lynn Stacy is my stage name. In case you needed to know that. Probably didn't. But anyway, let me say this. So I'm your host and hopefully your go-to gal for Midlife Secrets. Yes, and I also want to stress the fact that I give you good tips. Stick around to the end so that I have a health tip for you. And also, I just want to say this. Why am I going live? It's a faith-based channel. So why am I going live on Sunday morning? Because I have read my Bible. I have studied my Bible. I know my Bible, and I know what it says. And it says to Sunday is the first day of the week. Well, the Bible doesn't say that, but our calendar says that. The Bible says the seventh day of the week is the Sabbath. That's the day that Yeshua would have been walking around fellowshipping, hello, and keeping it holy and doing all the things that was handed down to our brother Moses to tell the people how to serve the Lord best. And so the best way to serve the Lord is be obedient to the Lord. And he said that Sunday is, Saturday, the seventh day of the week is the Sabbath. So argue with that if you want to. Hey, I just decided to keep it, and I'm glad I did. So anyway, so if you know a Christian and then you think they need to hear what I'm talking about, send them over my way. They can rock the replay, or they can catch me live on Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's enough of that. Okay, y'all. The show's only 30 minutes, by the way. But I got something special, I think, for you guys. I think I got something that will help you, because it's helped me, and I've done it before. I did the. It's called the bracelet challenge. A pastor came up with it, and I saw it on the internet, and I've been doing it. I've done it several times over the course of the years because I heard about it a while back. And I'm going to ask you to take the challenge with me. And I'm going to give you a little background first. Okay, so I think I have a critical spirit. I'm a loving person, don't get me wrong, but I think that I can be overly critical. But I had a cousin, my cousin Patty, she's so cool, she's 89 now. She said, Stacy, nobody can be more critical or harder on yourself than you are. On you than you are yourself. And that's so true. I have been very critical of myself because I want to always do my best. I want to present as my best. And my mother taught me that. She said, any job we're doing is worth doing it well. And I agree with that. I taught my kids that too. I was like, look, I don't care what you do. You can be a doctor, a lawyer like me. You can be a janitor. You could be a maid like my mom, but like she said, do it the best. So when you walk away from that job, people can admire what you've done because you're actually working for a paycheck. So that makes sense. Render unto Caesar what Caesar's, but you're also giving glory to God when you do a good job. When people look at you and they know you and they say, you know what, we're going to hire them back, or we're going to continue to work with that person because they did such a wonderful job, and we got a lot of bang for our buck. So that's the whole idea of doing well, and then but also asking yourself, are you doing well? And then not being really harsh on yourself or overly critical on yourself or overly critical on others, right? And that kind of goes along with the scriptures because the Bible says, before you criticize your brother or your sister, Matthew 7:5 says, you hypocrite. Oh, my screen's going dark, but here we go. I'm gonna read it to you. It says, Matthew 7:5, you hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, that'd be you, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. You hear that? Because we are our brother's keeper. I'm going to be held accountable for what I shared with you. Absolutely. We're going to be held accountable for what we do towards our brethren. We really are. And you know, because there's also something in the Bible that talks about if you know that the brethren is in error, you have to tell the brother that. Otherwise, their blood is going to be on your hands because you didn't warn them. But you're not to judge them. I mean, because that's so beautiful. Because when I read this a while back, I was so tickled that because I am so self-critical. I really am. But I'm working on that. You know, as we age out, I will eventually one day age out when I croak. Anyway, but again, I was so intrigued by the fact that Jesus said himself in John 12:47, he did not die to judge for you during his first trip to the planet. That's not what it says, but that's my paraphrasing it. But he did it when he came here and reigned the first time. I think he lived to be in his 30s somewhere. That's the story that they're telling. But he said, I come to guide you, to lead you, because he said, in my house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would tell you that. So Yeshua came to lead the way, right? And to help you as your brother and your king. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? So that's what he came to do, and that's what we're to do. If we're to emulate our brother who came here to lead us, then it's our job to lead each other to the truth. And that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you be a less critical spirit and a more peaceable spirit and somebody that people want to actually be around. Okay? Oh, and so wait a minute. I'm going to remind you guys too. This is the anniversary of me starting my purity fast. I started my purity fast on July 15th, and now it's August 15th today, and so it'll be 1 month that I started my purity fast, and I've been doing pretty good, except for I watched this movie with who was in that movie? Tyrese was in that movie. Was it Tyrese? Or no, it wasn't Tyrese. Or was it? Anyway, it was called, what was that movie called? Not Venom. I watched Venom too. That was kind of scary. I can't remember the name of the movie right now. I was going to talk about it anyway, but it was a sci-fi flick. It was about the end of the world. Oh gosh, I'm mad. I can't remember that movie. But anyway, it was scary. It was scary, and it was about this pregnant girl who was carrying the baby that is supposed to save the world, and so she was being attacked. So does anybody know what I'm talking about? Anyway, help a sister. Okay. But anyway, so here's the thing. It says Matthew 7:5. We just read that about being a hypocrite. So we don't want to be a hypocrite, but we do want to help our brothers out. And then I'm going to give you that scripture really quickly. James 5:9. It says, grudge not one against one another, brethren, but least you be condemned. So remember, the whole concept is, if I'm going to point out what you're doing, I better be in right relationship as well, right? I better be doing what I'm criticizing you of. And still pray for me, saints, because I got this one area that is so challenging. It's so challenging that I'm having a really hard time with it. And it involves another person. And oh, guys, help me. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. I do pray for my channel in the morning before I come up on here too, because I don't want to say anything misleading or wrong. I want to make sure that I'm saying what you need to hear and it's accurate, right? Because that's important to me, that you have the truth, right? And anyway, so back to this. So I also watched a movie over the weekend it was about Alejandro and Arturo. And it was about this young couple that couldn't conceive. It's on Netflix as well. And it was talking about how she faked a pregnancy because she was so scared about being criticized for not being able to conceive. She had a couple miscarriages. So she faked a third pregnancy. She ended up stealing a baby from the hospital and doing 13 years in a Mexican prison. So it's trending now on Netflix if you want to watch it. But that's part of what I was saying about, that was part of the reason why I wanted to bring you guys this message today, because she was fearful of being criticized. She was. And the people around her were they were loving enough, but they were very adamant about she should be having a baby. It was mostly his mom, but his mom was a trip. But she felt so guilty and so sad about not having a baby that she ended up faking a pregnancy, and her and her husband both went to jail. Oh, planner or spontaneous? Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Let's do that. Are you a critical spirit? Are you overly critical? Critical. And that could be of you or, okay, there we go. I tried it. Answers will appear in the message. It says done. Did it do it? Done. Okay, are you overly critical? That's the question of today. Where did it go? Did I lose it? Did I lose it? Oh, Lord. Is it gone? Is it gone? I think it's gone. All right. Well, I tried. It'll come back maybe later or maybe at the next show. But anyway, the question was, are you overly critical of others and yourself? If so, Stacey will help you today. So anyway, we all carry this fear, I think. We carry this fear of being judged, not liked, ostracized, called crazy, called nerd, all of that stuff. And so we are really hard on ourselves in that regard too. So we become very self-critical in that regard, and we have to be careful of that. So I'm going to help you. So here's how I'm going to help you. You can do this with a friend, or you can do it by yourself. I think it's more fun with a friend. So here's the challenge. In addition to the purity challenge, I hope you're taking. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're taking the purity challenge with me, and we're going to do it up until we go into the year 2027. Because I think 2027 is going to be a doozy. I don't know about you, but I have a feeling 2027 is going to be a doozy for a multitude of reasons. But okay, here it goes. So there was a pastor at a church, and he wanted to challenge his parishioners to not be so critical. And the way he was talking about it, most people do not realize just how critical their spirits are. Yes, some people have very critical spirits. Like I said, I'm, chief among those critical people. But I'm learning to be a lot less critical, ask more questions, get to the bottom of something, and then help the person that way. Okay? So here's the challenge. So you take a bracelet. It doesn't matter what kind, but these are easier because you can slide them off and on your arm. So you take a bracelet and you put it on your arm, right? You start on your left side. You give the other person their bracelet, and they start their bracelet on the left side as well. The whole goal is to identify for the next 21 days after you put the bracelet on, whether or not you complain. You don't think it's easy, but it's not, because I've done it several times. So you can't complain about the weather. Oh, it's so cloudy. Oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, it's so rainy. Can't complain about that. You go to the grocery store. You can't complain about, look at these vegetables. They're all terrible, blah, blah, blah. I got something to help you with that too, by the way. Juice Plus, I sell it. But anyway, another shameless plug. But yes, so then any criticism you have of yourself or other people. So let's say right now, I'm going to criticize myself. Oh my gosh, I didn't sleep that good last night and the bags are under my eyes. Okay, that's a criticism. So I take the bracelet and I put it over on this side because I criticized. So then I go through my day, and hopefully I don't criticize anymore because I got that lesson for the day. So my bracelet stays on my arm, hopefully for 21 days straight, but try that. But at least for 24 hours, whatever, as long as I am in the experiment. So then, check this out. If my partner, with the other bracelet, if my partner challenges me, then I can tell my partner, take your bracelet off, because remember she started off on this side. Take your bracelet off and put it over here. Well, when that happens, you also have to change your bracelet, right? So you got to change your bracelet back to the other side, right? So the goal is to keep your bracelet on one side of your wrist for a total of 21 days. You think you can do that? Right. So remember the rules. Put a bracelet on, start on one side. If you find yourself being critical, making a critical comment, move the bracelet to the other side, right? And then see how long you can wear that bracelet on this side without making a critical statement. If in fact you make a critical statement, you got to move the bracelet to the other side. If someone is doing the challenge with you, and they point out, hey, you just criticized me, or you just criticized something, both of you then have to change your bracelet. Both of you would have to change your bracelet. So he would have to change her. She would have to change her bracelet to this side, and you would have to change your bracelet over to that side. Therefore, you now got to start all over. The clock starts all over again for the 21-day challenge. So see if you can just say kind words and sweet words for 21 days, not criticizing. It is not easy. I'm telling you guys, just like that purity fast is not easy. Because I watched that movie the other day, and then I had a nightmare, which I should have, because it was a scary movie, and I said I was going to kind of stop watching those too as part of my purity fast. Anyway, to thyself be true. All right, so let me say this, but let me say this as well. Boy, that went quick, but I got a couple more tips for you at the end. But listen, because the show's only 30 minutes. But listen to this. I wanted to say there is a proper way to make a complaint. So a complaint is not a criticism. And I was listening to somebody teaching on that, and they were saying that most people do not know how to properly complain. They just become a critic. They become like sort of a nag, or somebody that's always got something negative to say. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for you. That's not healthy for the people that you love. If you're always going around saying, you need to do that, and you need to do this different, and you need to stop doing that, and then again, it's particularly egregious if they're doing the same thing that they're complaining about. So, we be mindful of that. But again, how do you properly complain? How do you properly complain? Because you have to sometimes complain. So let me say this. I learned this from this guy. It was wonderful. He said, when you're complaining, go to the person who needs to hear the complaint. Then it becomes legitimate. So when I'm in the grocery store and the checkout line is super long, I will politely say to the cashier, could you guys please get another cashier, because the line is very long, as you can see. And then usually that triggers the cashier, because she's busy ringing stuff up, right? So she don't have time to be paying attention how long the line is. She's just trying to get you through. But I will say that. I will say to the cashier, can you please get someone else to help us, because this line is long, and it shouldn't be this long. I'm the customer, right? Customer's always right. So, and then I've gotten ghetto and yelled, like, come on now, cashier needed on aisle 4. I've done that too. I got really loud, and I used to get some laughs, because people don't like to be embarrassed. And so I guess if you complain out loud, you embarrass yourself. I don't get embarrassed easily anymore when I think I'm doing the right thing. What about you? So that's it. So that's how you properly complain. Go to the source. Go to the person that can make the change. That's not a criticism. That's a legitimate complaint. And that's how things get done. That's how things get changed. That you become an advocate. Yes. So instead of just a critic, right? So I hope that helped you. Honestly, because I just want to always be a better version of me, and hopefully you always want to be a better version of you, because we only get one ride on this train called life, and we want to make sure that it's a really good ride, right? So I want to share that. And it looks like my show wasn't pushed out to too many people today, because I don't have anybody watching at this very minute. I wonder if I got to go look at my algorithm. There's a way that you can go look to see if your channel has been flagged. So I need to go look, because if it's been flagged, it's not being put out, I guess, something like that. So usually I have more people tuning in at this time of the morning. So I don't know what happened, but we'll see. But I'm going to give you the tip that I wanted to give you today. Makes me feel a little sad though, because what did I do wrong, YouTube? Did I do something wrong? I wonder if it was that I put a picture of Britney Spears up last show. I better take that down. Maybe that's the problem. But anyway, I may have been flagged, and when you get flagged, they slow down your algorithms and all that good stuff. Anyway, the shadow band, that's what it's called, shadow band. So I wonder if I'm being shadow banned. I should have followed my instincts because my gut was to not put that picture up there, and I did it anyway. So yeah, and I don't want to waste my time up here just talking to myself. So we'll see what happens because typically I have at least 5 of y'all in here with me or something like that in the morning, and then I get a decent amount of replays. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go back and look at my edits. Okay, add a question. Okay, something to look for. Okay, I'm going to try this. Let's see if that boosts our algorithms. Okay, something you're looking forward to this week. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Is it to doing the challenge? Is that what you're looking forward to this week? Let's hope. Let's see. Okay, there it is. There it is. But it's going to cover my face, I guess, because last time I tried to pull it out the way. Oh, that's weird. Okay, Doug, I do like this and talk to you like this. Because the question is up there. What are you looking forward to this week? Are you looking forward to doing the purity challenge, starting the purity challenge? Are you looking forward to being less critical and being a blessing to be around and to be joyful to be around because we need to be joyful to be around? Okay, so I'm going to give you my final tip. It's not going to take me a whole 9 minutes to do that. I feel sad. I did something wrong, obviously, because I think anywho, we ain't gonna cry about that, are we? Again, don't be so hard on yourself. Be careful being very overly critical of yourself because you are your best friend. My mother used to always say that too. She says, Stacy, be your own best friend. Don't be your own worst enemy. Yeah, that's important too. And you have to love yourself to be your own best friend. A lot of people don't really love themselves enough, and it's very unfortunate that happens because we're supposed to be happy. Start the Q&A. Oh, there we go. Oh, it hadn't even started yet. Oh my goodness! So there's a Q&A. What are you looking forward to this week? Can you put that in the comments if you're looking forward to something this week? But let me go to what I was going to say to you guys. All right, so in the last few minutes of our show. So one of the things that happens when you become when you take showers and stuff and you put those old funky plastic mats down, one of the things that happens is those mold forms on those mats. And I don't know if that's how you get athlete's feet or that's how you get your toenails to turn black, but I would show you my toenails, but I'm not going to lift my foot up to do that. That would be a bit much. But the toenails. Okay, so baking soda. So when I get out of the shower, I put baking soda underneath my fingernails and underneath my toenails. Because I know what happened years ago. I went to a nail salon and I got infection in my nails, and my nails have been damaged ever since. And so in order to make sure that doesn't happen again, I do my nails at home. But also, I do the baking soda. I learned this. I saw several people doing it on social, and so I tried it, and it works really well. They're not going to even move that thing. So can y'all see? What do you see over my head? Okay. Anyway, so I took the baking soda when I get out of the shower. I take the baking soda and I put it underneath my toenails and my fingernails, like I said. And after about a year, my toenails turn back white. Yeah, they turn back white. The nail bed is healing. And the other thing that I do, I don't have those old funky mats anymore. I got rid of my funky mat out from under my in my tub. I don't keep the funky mat in there. I have shower slippers. They're plastic. So I keep these in the shower, and it keeps me from slipping and falling, because falling is always a danger when you're showering. So I keep those in the shower, and it helps grip. It's got a little gripper thing on the bottom that grips. So I keep this in the shower, and that's what I put on my feet while I'm taking a shower, so that I don't get those black toenails. So I think that's part of what it's from. I don't know for sure. But anyway, darn y'all, I gotta find out what's happening. I'm bummed right now. So anyway, so leave a comment, something you're looking forward to. I'm gonna end that because I want to end with my face being on the camera. Yes, guys. So what do you have planned for this week? Anything special? You're going to see any good movies this week? I'm going to take my grandson to a museum on Monday. He's never been to this new museum, so I'm going to take him on Monday. It's a language museum. So, excuse me. It's a language museum. It's an interactive language museum, and he's super smart. You know, every grandmother talks about their children being, their grandchildren being super smart, super cute, whatever you name it. We're going to brag about our grandkids, right? Yeah, so I'm going to take him to, we're spending the day, we're going to have lunch, and we're going to go to the museum and just enjoy each other's company. Yeah, because you know what? It's great being a grandma. It really is. You know, the saying goes, the nice thing about being a grandmother, you can spoil them and send them back home to their parents. So, yes, yes. And my children were very disciplined. I have some really great kids. They turned out really great. If I must say so myself, they really did. And so, yeah. So I'm really sad right now because I think I've been shadow banned. I think I did something wrong, and I think it was that Britney Spears one when I put up there. And the reason why I talked about Britney was because I was talking about how part of my purity fast is not watching gossip channels, because reading her book, I realized how wounded she was by the critics that came along, and that goes along with the territory. And I think she understood that being famous goes along with the territory of being famous, and I think Britney understood that, but it was still, nonetheless, it was very painful and it was very hard. And there's a lot of people who we criticize because we think that they're celebrities and it's okay to just really rip them apart. And I don't think it's okay to ever rip anybody apart. You can be honest, you know, and you can, and we do critique, but people's behaviors, but I'm just saying you just have to be really careful and mindful of that, because people have feelings. They're human beings, right? And so even though they put themselves out there to entertain you, does that give us the right to say some of the horrible things that we say about them, unless it's absolutely positively true? That's something different. The truth, and matter of fact, as an attorney, I can tell you that if you say something true about somebody, that's not slander. Slander is said, liable is what you write about somebody. So yes, so if you are if something's true about somebody and you say it, you're protected under the law. But I like to say, if you're not saying something nice about somebody, then why are you talking? You know, why are you talking if you're not saying something nice about that person? Because it would, and then, you know, I always reflect on how you would want people to treat you. Treat people the way you would like to be treated, correct? So if you don't like to be criticized, then you know, practice not criticizing others in a harmful way. Because I believe that everyone should have a plain spoken friend, a friend that will tell you how the world is seeing you. If it's obvious you don't know how the world is seeing you, and that friend comes along and says, you know what, Stacy, I think that you might want to change that a little bit or tweak that a little bit because it's not coming across the way you want it to come across. So that's okay. I think everyone needs a plain spoken friend. Even though you may smite under their criticism, you should value their friendship and value the fact that they're brave enough to tell you that, because if you get totally angry at them for telling you the truth, they may walk away. And if you really love that person, you don't want the person to walk away from you. But, you know, there's a good thing in the Bible that says, rebuke a wise man and he will love you. So there's a little difference between rebuke and criticism, or maybe they kind of go hand in hand. But rebuke a wise man and he will love you. Rebuke a fool and he will remain in his folly. Yeah, that happens. So keep that in mind when you're talking about somebody, particularly if it's somebody that you know well. You want to keep them in your circle. Be kind, be nice, right? Just do the right thing for the right reasons at all times. That's so that you will be named among the righteous if you do the right thing. And I know in a world that's so corrupt, in a world that's so crazy, that it's getting harder and harder to even figure out what's right and what's wrong, because people are saying things are right, and there's a scripture that says there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end of there is death. And so, yeah, and we don't want to kill people's spirits. We want to lift people up. We want people to be of good cheer, yes, and be of good spirits, right? So we're winding down. I got to figure out how I'm being shadow banned, y'all. But keep coming back. Like, subscribe. Next time you come back, bring a friend if you will, because I come on live every Sunday at 11 o'clock. Why do I come on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock if I'm a born-again believer? Because Sunday is the first of the day of the work week, and I'm at work. I actually go to church on Saturday because now I'm a Sabbath keeper, not anything else. I'm not, don't label me nothing. I follow the way. The Yeshua HaMashiach, our soon to come brother and king, he said he's the way. His ministry was the way. So I follow the way. And I do that by joining my fellow believers at holyimpactministries.com, on YouTube on Saturday mornings at 10:30. So come on over there and join us if you want some real truth about the scriptures, because his mom told him years ago, he used to be a Sunday pastor, and his mom told him years ago, son, you're doing it on the wrong day. And good thing he listened to his mama, because now we have this wonderful fellowship of believers that are worshiping on the Sabbath. All right, the right day of the week. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for joining me. Come back next week, like I said.